Markets, meme coins, and metal men. An economic update so sharp it could cut you. Be careful, hit that like button. Voting is open for the GameStop annual meeting, because what's more fun than shouting into the void with the ballot? While cool kids are moving over to LivePerson, things are actually happening there. Some GameStop investors are still LARPing as 2021. Over in LivePerson, shareholder activism is real. The board just brought forward the AGM. They slapped a new deadline on the door and politely reminded everyone, if you want your proposal in, get it to New York by May the 5th. Or kindly take your drama elsewhere. You'll find the relevant details on the Discord or engraved into your psyche by the sheer bureaucratic force of Delaware law, SEC rules, and universal proxy compliance. All of that together sounds like a rejected Star Wars spin-off, but you can bring it to the big screen. Check the Discord. Meanwhile, China isn't sleeping. It's building. Not just more railroads and EVs. No, XPeng, a company best known for making your Tesla look like a flip phone, has decided it's time to go full Skynet. They're mass-producing humanoid robots called Iron, who apparently need 62 degrees of freedom to truly appreciate just how disappointing the future has become. According to XPeng CEO, Zhao Peng, cars are easy, but robots way harder. Like watching your meme coin portfolio in reverse, but with legs. These droids, expected to trot off the line in 2026, are powered by XPeng's Turing AI chipset. It runs 30 billion parameters at once. That's roughly how many neurons fired when I tried to explain the Trump meme coin with a straight face in an earlier script. Because yes, in day 100 of Trump's second term, we see the success of those two lovely minted meme coins, Trump and Melania. Collectibles that sit somewhere between political grift and digital fan fiction. As of press time, Trump coin sits at 1323, floating in a range that says, I'm not a joke, you are. It surged 50% after the Trump campaign announced a dinner for top holders. That sounds fantastic. Makes Firefest look like Davos. If you're in the top 25 wallets, you'll get a private reception and White House tour. Melania, meanwhile, recovering from a February slump with the elegance of a wet cat, trading at 42 cents, roughly the price of a cardboard sandwich from the GameStop clearance rack. Speaking of which, GameStop continues its transformation into a ghost town with over 700 stores shuttered, not to include those sold, and a business model now held together by duct tape and some Bitcoin. Enter PayMore, the phoenix from the ash heap tech chain, buying up old GameStop sites like bargain bin real estate. Plan to turn them into community-focused spaces, or somewhere you'll finally be able to get rid of that cracked iPad. Meanwhile, real markets are rising. Like it's been to business school. Big tech earnings from Microsoft and Meta blew past expectations, sending stocks skyward and calming fears that Trump's tariff tantrums would collapse AI and cloud spending. China and the US are even flirting with thinking about is that okay, Yokri okay, a geopolitical dance so delicate it makes Swan Lake look like a rugby match. So, we've got a good take on the markets today primarily Chinese stocks up, US indices pumping, and the FTSE is on its 13th day winning streak. It's best in 9 years. For a British institution, that is basically a rave. The story here is familiar. Earnings drive optimism. Optimism drives capital. Capital drives the inevitable return to a familiar conclusion. That, today, is that China looks a lot like the US in 2020, only with better infrastructure, better broadband, and less Twitter drama. Drama is building. XPeng is building terminators. GameStop is being replaced by trade-in hipster havens. Trump coin is real and not illegal. LivePerson's board wants your paperwork in triplicate by May the 5th. So sharpen your metaphors and polish those proxies. Put down the meme tokens. The robots are learning. Are you? The market is rotating. And if you're still buying GME just for nostalgia, you could as easily be investing in VHS tapes and hope PayMore takes them. Pay less. Get in a live person. Make more. Easy peasy. Here's SPY. It's had a good move up to the top side, dragged up by Microsoft and Meta, slipping into that gap at close. Looking at industrials here with DGI, you can see also pushing to the top side. Doesn't have that same gap. Price action coming down to test a natural level of potential support. NASDAQ led the charge, holding the gap at close. Previously, you can see price action put in a level of resistance. It exceeded that on that push to the top side up to the daily time frame. And you can see coming up for where you might find resistance on a V-shaped recovery, 2-2. 20-2-2. And SPY. To remind you, on 15-minute time frame, we did have this target to the top side back up, and price action managed to do that. Get up to what was a gap close looking left here. So price action doing very well, following along with the recommendations that we made for it here ahead of time. Very, very convenient. Apple testing the bottom side of that gap that opened on the chart you saw on SPY, equivalent happening here. Testing resistance. Could get another little of a boost to the top side. And then quick look at Wayfair. They collapsed on the tariff news and have got a very similar chart to Apple. But there's a lot of other things going on across the world. Here's the German markets testing up at important highs, going to the 4-hour time frame, and you can see also making a strong recovery back towards those important all-time highs. And then similar news here. France, Canada. What's the difference now, right? Conservatives are battered. And then over in the Euro stocks, well, they're just chilling out, watching that recovery, knowing that everything in the long term looks like it's going to work out well for Euro stocks, especially if they are getting a boost from the currency in the short term. Google, another big tech name, dropping out of a downward sloping diagonal, coming down, testing a long-term important horizontal, also a fib level. Bouncing from here, you would anticipate it comes up and at least goes towards those $180 and change if it's got more steam in its rockets. Like you self-propelled entrepreneurial traders, get yourself to www.technicalanalysis.school and learn to trade properly. You could be looking at LivePerson right now. This was the shakeout zone. Price action came into there or thereabouts. Didn't manage to break important horizontals before turning to the top side, exceeding an important horizontal at 85 and breaking a downward sloping diagonal at 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. This could have been a rejection, price action breaking through, having not double tapped on support. So momentum is behind price action in terms of structure. As you can see here, you've got a little bit of resistance based on the bottom side of the bullish control zone. That would suggest that if price does continue to the top side, then it will be confirming that bullish move on momentum that we outline based on structure. Next target on price back up at around 113, 19 to 113. Break that, then you've got a downward sloping macro diagonal up at around 140 to 150. 150 is a round number, and in these sort of circumstances, that might be where you're looking to if you exceed it. Got prior highs, extensions. They come in at gap closes at 233, 239, 240. and then you've got your 1618 extension up at around 440. So if we're talking about a strong reaction to finding support at the midpoint of a downward sloping broadening wedge, then it may well be then that you're looking at this reaction testing top side of resistance. If that breaks, then you've got the prior highs to aim for. $4 and change on LivePerson, huge potential moves. And if you get positive news from the company, that will have a massive impact on price. The float has been very much reduced. The volume is quite low, even for average, and the outstanding short interest is very dangerous. So this thing could really pop. And earnings coming up. Annual general meeting too, and there could be really big news for shareholders and stakeholders, especially the retail trading movement. Really making history here with LivePerson. The board doing a fantastic job. Company turning things around. Absolute stellar work. And it could well be that just one client could completely change the outlook for this company, with the market cap in around 80 million. And that being the value of one big deal and then some. You could really see things turning around for LivePerson just in one little deal. And that is the opportunity available with LivePerson. Get those details across to the board. They want your paperwork in. Triplicate. May the 5th the deadline. You can do it. Don't let anybody beat you to it. Hit the like button. I've been trade spotting. Tomorrow we've got a live show. I'm going to forward you to it now. You will arrive ahead of everybody else. We'll get you get ready for Tradesploshing Fridays. We're back with the live show and all the glitz and glamour with the wheel of doom and everything. See you then.